We are back in the games room, and as you can see there is a big pile of Master System games on the table, so it means it's time for a pickups video. I don't actually pick up too many Master System games, but I do try and at least pick up 2 or 3 a month, just to slowly build up the collection. So some of these games I actually got as far back as the end of last year, they've just been lurching on the side, waiting to be put on a shelf after they've had a pickup video. So let's have a look what I picked up in the last couple of months. So here we go, here are the pickups, the Master System games. Like I mentioned before, I'm only picking up a couple a month, not too many. I didn't really want to add them to the monthly pickups video I do because the Master System games are a little bit special, so I think they deserve their own video. So what I was thinking is, let's do this maybe every 3 months when I've got enough together, do a Master System pickup video. So you're not going to see this all the time. I'm very, very slowly picking up Master System games. But I think this is the best way of doing it. Like I say, really snail's pace. I'm picking up these, just chipping away at the Master System games. I've got about 180. I'm not going for the full set. I'm just picking up sort of arcadey games or shooters or the sort of games that stuck in my head back in the day. Because when you're growing up, the Master System was always there, everywhere, in the magazines, in the stores. And it just burns you back in mind, some of these pictures. So I always remember some of the advertisements and the screenshots. I was thinking, oh, I really want to get these games. Didn't have a Master System, so I was very jealous. And then going to the stores and seeing Hang On and Outrun, and thinking, I want a bit of this arcade action in my home. I love arcade games. I did back then as well. And I was very jealous of this system. And so that's one of the reasons why I pick it up today, these games, why I collect for the Master System, is just that burning memory of really wanting to get that system and some of these games that just stuck in my head. So with that out of the way, let's get cracking with the first game. So this is the first game. It's definitely one I remember the cover. I remember seeing this advertised a lot, and it's Fire and Forget 2. And as you can see, this cover would have been everywhere. So I don't know. This came like this. I don't know what's going on with the seller. Maybe he's trying to wind me up or whatever, but he's put the Mega Drive version of Fire and Forget 2, and here is the actual game. So I don't know if he's playing a joke or what the background is on that, but it made me laugh anyway. A nice attempt. It's a limited edition. Actually, it's not bad for a Mega Drive cover as well. Probably a bit too much detail for some of the covers that I've seen. Anyway, this is a pretty good game. Wasn't in the arcades even though it's an arcade. Well, I don't think it was anyway. But it is an arcadey sort of styly game. It's just like kind of like a road blaster kind of game. The graphics are pretty decent for what it is. The sounds are pretty decent. And the most important thing about this kind of game is how quickly and how smoothly it sort of drives. And it's pretty fast and it's pretty smooth, so I would recommend this game. It's a lot of fun, but probably won't grab your attention for too long. Can get a little bit boring after a bit of time, but it's pretty cheap. This was on eBay. I paid about maybe £20 for this, including shipping, though it didn't turn up for about 2 months. So this I ordered maybe in August or something. Just about to click, didn't turn up, and it arrived. I think that's the rule. If you want a game to turn up, about to report it on eBay. But yeah, I would say give it a go. Not one of the best games in the system, obviously, but certainly not one of the worst. And by Titus as well, so normally they do some pretty crappy games. In this case, not too bad. So next up is actually a little bit of a bundle. So I've actually been picking up games in the States recently because the prices in the UK are just ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. Some of the Master System game prices are just crazy now. And you can get some real good deals in the States compared to the UK. And for me, I don't care. For me, I've got to ship it anyway. So if it's States or UK, it's the same to me. Just give me the best price. And I use an analog SG, so I'm okay. I can play the games at the right speed. I'm quite happy to get a NTSC version. Some of them are the same anyway. They're identical. But anyway, this is Considem. So this one, I don't remember back in the day, to be honest with you. I don't remember the cover, but it's one I've always wanted to get, just for the fact that very early on when I was collecting from Master System, some seller in Singapore was selling it. And at the time, he was selling it for too much. Probably half what I paid for it now. But yeah, I didn't want to go for it. He was overcharging. I saw it, I looked up the game. It just looked like a side-scrolling sort of hack and slash sort of game. Looked a lot of fun. So it was always there in the back of my mind. I want to get this game eventually. And yeah, I found it in the States with another game I wanted to get, which I'll cover in a minute. Yeah, consigners. But unfortunately, even though a lot of people do give it quite good reviews, for me, because I didn't play it back in the day, it's not aged well. I can imagine if I played this back in the day, I would have loved this game. It would have been a lot of fun. I'm sure I would have had a lot of nostalgia. Probably very similar to Spellcaster in that fact. I didn't enjoy that one either. But this one, I would say, didn't age well. It's a bit clunky. You maybe get a little bit bored with it. A lot of cheap deaths and cheap hits. So a bit frustrating. Wouldn't really recommend it. Also for the price, I wouldn't really recommend this one. Again, for this one, this is Zillion. So this is quite an early game, I think. It's based on a manga. You recognise the little gun because obviously the Zap or whatever it's called for the Master System is based on this manga series. It's a pretty simple game, kind of a side-scrolling sort of shooting game, but then it's more venture, sort of puzzle-y, find codes. Yeah, it's okay. I don't know what's going on with the cover, why they've got a microwave, but yeah, it's Master System games, right? You never know what you're going to get with the cover. But would I recommend it? If you like the anime series, then probably yes. But there's better games out there, to be honest with you. The chiptunes are pretty cool on it. I did enjoy that. But it's a little bit boring, to be honest with you. It's, yeah, better games out there. I only got it because of the manga series. But I've got the second one. The second one I think is better. It was more of a shooting game, but this one's more of a adventure game. So those two, both from the States. Next one is definitely from the States because you didn't get that in the UK, and it's Rambo First Blood Part 2. Now you did get Secret Command, and there's also in Japan they got a different variation as well. So I think all three games are slightly different. But for me, this one is the one to get because it's Rambo, right? And the cover is so cool, and the tunes as well. The First Blood tunes as well on chip. You got to hear it. Really, really cool. I love it. I really do love it. But the gameplay wise, yeah, it's okay. It's very similar to Commando or Akari Warriors, that kind of thing. Maybe a bit slower than those games. Those games were a little bit faster. The bullets seem to travel very slow and not very far, so you have to get quite close to the enemies. You got your bow and arrow for your bombs. Graphics are okay. I think it's graphics slightly different from Secret Command. I can't really remember. But yeah, I would recommend it if you like that kind of game. But yeah, it's not as good as something like Commando or Kairoris on one of the platforms. But definitely, if you're going to go for it, don't go for Secret Command. Go for Rambo First Blood Part 2 because the tunes, because the cover, definitely the better version. Gutted that they didn't do this version in the UK and Europe. I guess there was some sort of Spectrum game or something with the same name. They couldn't get the license. I don't know. But definitely recommend that one. Next up is staying with Mr. Stallone is Rocky. Now, why did I get this one? Apart from the obvious reason from the movies. Well, it's Ollie from 8-Bit Boy UK. He did a high score challenge. So I've actually been looking back. So I've been joining in some of the more recent challenges. And I look back at some of the games that I missed, some of the challenges they did. And this is one that looked a lot of fun. So I thought, I've got to give this a go, especially because I love arcadey boxing games. So this stems really back to a Konami boxing game. It didn't really come, I don't think it was on any console. I'm not sure. I've never seen it on a console. I think it's Final Round, something like that. I have to do a video on this one because I've got the PCB. I would love to show this one off, and I don't think it's on any other console. It's really good fun, very arcadey, very similar to, because it's based on Rocky as well, but obviously knockoff Rocky. But this one plays a little bit similar, not as good as that, but still a lot of fun. I didn't really enjoy the stages to do the training or the rest. I didn't really get that. I'm not sure where they were going with that. And maybe just to break it up a bit, because it is a little bit same-ish when you've got the fights. So maybe they thought break it up a bit. But Not my favourite part to it, but definitely recommend playing it, especially if you're a Rocky fan as well, and if you like arcadey boxing games. You'll probably enjoy this, but it's not the greatest boxing game, but it's okay. And also, this a hell of a lot cheaper in the US, this one. Much cheaper. And Rambo as well was pretty cheap as well. These were like 15 US each, around that, maybe 20 max, including postage, not much at all. So, going from games I enjoyed to one I definitely didn't. And this one really surprised me. I don't know what's going on with this. I have to admit it, I have never played Renegade. So, no, Renegade. You saw it everywhere. You saw it all over the magazines. It was on the Spectrum. It was on the Commodore 64. Never played it on any of those versions. Never played it. Never even played the arcade. So the arcade is based on the River City characters. Never played it. And I wish I never played this one. It's terrible. So disappointed. And it's a late game as well. This was a later release. So disappointed. I love Double Dragon. I love the Taito Brawlers. I've got PCBs of most of the other Taito Brawlers. I love this type of game, but this one doesn't do it for me. The controls are terrible, and it's so boring. The characters you're fighting are boring. The level design is boring. For Double Dragon, I'm sorry. A lot of people probably won't agree with me, and they'll probably love Renegade, but certainly on the Master System, for what it could do, this is not a good game. I'm so disappointed. After all these years, I finally play it and it's like this. But the cover's awesome. I always remember that cover from the magazines. That's why I got it. Oh dear, disappointing. It wasn't too expensive, and also not the greatest condition on there. The units are okay, but yeah, the manual's pretty nice. But a bit raggedy the edge there, but yeah, it's okay for me. It will do. Next up, a game I definitely enjoy is Endura Racer. So actually, a lot of these games I got from the US, including this one, because I was on eBay actually buying it. It was just after I got the Rona, so I had to go and get tested so I could go back to work. And it was like 2 o'clock in the morning in my car, queuing on the drive-through test place. I was waiting for about 2 hours, so I got onto eBay and started shopping as you do, buying lots of Master System games. And I didn't properly do my check, so I got the ones I just showed you before. I got the Rocky and Rambo and also Zillion. I got all those the same night. And I saw Endura Racer, and it was dirt cheap. It was only like $10 US. And I remember Ollie from 8-Bit Boy UK, it's on one of his lists. So I thought, okay, I've got to grab this one. It looks really good fun. I didn't realise I've actually got the game. So yeah. So I've got a UK version and I've got the US version. So it shows you that I do have games in my collection that I haven't played, and there's probably a lot more than that I would like to admit. But I have played it eventually now, so I'm happy to play it, and it's really, really good fun. Not like the arcade game at all. It's just an isometric sort of racing game. So much fun. You do have to get used to the graphics because, okay, they're a little bit primitive, and you have to work out what to go on, what part of the roads make you go faster. The first level is pretty easy, it's very obvious, but later levels, when they're trying to be a bit inventive on the tracks, it's hard to know which is the stuff that's going to slow you down, which stuff is going to make you go faster. A lot of fun. I really enjoyed that one. Definitely recommend that one. Endura Racer. Another game I really recommend. Again, same source, it's 8-Bit Boy UK, Astral Warrior. This is a cracking shooter. So this is one I've always just avoided, just because of the pictures, right? I've seen the graphics, I've seen that it's just a basic, primitive graphics sprites. I didn't want it, nothing to do with it, especially when I knew that it was sort of a cheaper game, because it came in with a Pickpot and seemed to be thrown in with everything. I thought, that can't be a good game, right? It's part of a bundle. But wrong, this is really good. Again, high school challenge, drew my attention to it. I saw a lot of people's videos on it. Thought that looks really good fun. Give it a go, and it is damn good. It plays really well, and that's what's the important part for the shooter. It's just so smooth. It's almost like a early MSX sort of shooter, that sort of level. Really, really good. Sprites so basic. You've got to work out what you're supposed to shoot and what you're supposed to pick up, because they just dropped down and it looks like an enemy who's sort of shooting it. You've got to shoot it. It's actually a weapon upgrade. Yeah, you don't know what you're shooting. They're just some sort of weird sprites, but so much fun and so fast for this sort of system. Really recommend this one for a shooter. I don't know what's going on with the cover as well. You got some sort of pretzel that you're shooting, but that's similar to the sort of designs that they did in the game. Terrible graphics, fantastic shooter. Astral Warrior. Next up is another fantastic shooter. I love this game. It's Renegade. This is really, really, really good. It's too good. It shouldn't be this good on the Master System for a shooter. It really has that sort of compiling feel to it. The weapon base, not the way the weapons you only get one weapon basically, but you power it up. But it just feels like compile sort of upgrade to your weapons. Really, really good fun. Very fast. Bullets are very fast as well. Really challenging. But at the same time, the end level bosses are fairly easy, so you can get quite far. If you sort of really concentrate, you can go quite far with the game. A lot of fun though. Really a lot of fun. It's a it is a reflex shooter, I should say. So that's what I love about it. Definitely recommend it. Renegade. But it's really difficult to get. Again, this is from the US. I know they got a black version in the US. The Activision had a black box, but this is, again, I don't know for whatever reason it's this variation. Because in the UK I've been trying to get this for past year or so, and the prices are just crazy for this game. Really crazy. This didn't used to be too expensive, and it's gone up and up. And I've watched it go up and up. So I thought, okay, sod it, I'll go for one in the US at almost half the price than the UK. So I'm happy to finally get it. It's Renegade. Last but certainly not least is one of my favourites, Penguin Land. So this is, I've never played the arcade of this. This is the first time I actually played this game. I've seen it around for a while. It's one of these Doku Doku Penguin games. So again, this was on the MSX. They used to have loads of these on the MSX. You've got like Space Harrier version of this, different sort of puzzly games. They really love this Penguin. I like Penguin games because of Pengu. Pengo. But this is not from the Pengo series, just a penguin. But the idea is just get your egg from the top to the bottom. Very, very simple. This is classic Sega arcade games from that era. You've got catchy tunes, simple graphics, great gameplay, a lot of fun. I really recommend this one. Again, this is super expensive in the UK. Got it in the States, much cheaper. So happy to finally get this one. A lot of fun, and highly recommend it. In fact, after this, I actually got a different version on a different system and a different pickups video, which I will show at a later date. Definitely a lot of fun, and one I recommend. So what I would say is, from this bunch, definitely Renegade is my pick. That's the #1 spot. Recommend this totally. You got to get it, and get it before it goes too high a price. Penguin Land is my second one. Definitely get that one. Again, try and get it. Maybe if you're not fussy, get it from the States, cheaper like me. Other one, Astral Warrior. It should be dirt cheap. But again, this is sneaking up. This used to get for nothing. So this still was like maybe $10 US in the States, very cheap. Endura Racer as well. I recommend this one. Again, very cheap. Not sure how much the PAL goes to because that was just an instant buy. And the other one, no, not you, not you, not you. Rambo. Yeah. Recommend Rambo, and get Rambo. Don't go for Super Command. Go for the chip tunes. Rambo music, First Blood music. That's what you want. So that's it for the pickups. So you made it to the end of the video. Congratulations, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed those glorious Master System games, and a special thank you goes out to Saru, who's doing a fantastic job, and I really appreciate what he's doing, helping me out with my banner and logo and all the rest of it. But I will do a special video to dedicate thank you and properly roll out my logo and stuff. So I will be thanking you again, and I will see you guys later.